Vanessa, thanks very much for joining us. And there's a lot of focus at the moment on increase in terms of climate risks. You're General Counsel Europe there at AEW. So how do you see the role of insurance changing for real estate? And I guess, is this an issue globally as well as here in Europe?
Yes, I would say that one of the topic I'm working on actually, because I think that the increase of climate risk has really an impact on the role of insurance in real estate. As you may know, risks are mutualized through the word for insurers. So when you have a big damage in United States, for example, and another one in Europe, globally, all the world would be impact, and you may face an increase of the premium. The point is beyond the increase of the premium, because some locations start to be risk area, you have exclusion of some location, you have exclusion of some activity. So I would say that all this increase of climate risk is going to have a real impact on the way insurers are going or not to cover some real estate assets, some locations, some activity. So yes, it has a global impact.
And just in terms of that, Vanessa, how can real estate players, and therefore I guess also the insurance companies, work together to try and resolve this?
I would say they need to work together at the beginning. So before you do an investment or before you build the building, you have to discuss with the insurer who has the data and the knowledge about what are the materials you're going to use, where is the location, did they already face any damage in the zone you're going to build your building. So I would say we need to work together at the beginning to use all the data the insurer and the reinsurer have, just to make sure that as an investor, we do the right choice and we don't have any issue when the building will be there to insure this building, because in fact the real issue would be at maybe in few years not to be able to insure all the building, which would be in reality a real problem for the market.
You mentioned there that issue of an inability to find an insurer. Does that mean that there's going to be an increased role for alternative insurance solutions?
Yeah, exactly. I think we need to think about the future, even though as of today, I can say that globally, as AEW, we managed to find insurer for all our real estate assets, even though we have a big portfolio through Europe. But I'm sure that we may face some issue in the future in some zone. And so we think about captive insurance, which is a way that is not used as of today in Europe by a company as AEW, which manage for third party. But we think about it with our broker in insurance, as it could be a first line in the insurance.
And for those who aren't familiar with this area, Vanessa, how does captive insurance work?
Captive insurance is like a basket where you put, instead of paying the premium to your insurer, you put it in the basket, you capitalize, and it gives us first line for the insurance. And then beyond, you have the biggest insurer. It means that it will decrease the amount of the premium and give you the opportunity to still have an insurance paying if you have any damage. This is the first alternative. And you have also parametric, which is type of insurance whereby it may be very specific issue you may have in a zone like hail, and you find an insurance just to cover hail. So this is a type of alternative insurance. We think about it, even though we won't put them in place as of today because it raises a lot of issue. But I think we need, as a company managing real estate assets, to think about, to be able to anticipate any difficulty we may have in the future.
It's really interesting to see how these issues around climate risk are now beginning to be a real consideration for real estate investors like AEW. Thanks very much for joining us, Vanessa.
You're welcome.